ABX is in the
Went from ducking 12, now I'm ducking hell. Many times I failed, many times I prevailed. Satan on my trail, I got God, I'm doing well. Had to tell myself, I ain't taking no more L. When it sees, 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 it's coming, I believe it, huh? Watch it leave me speechless, huh? It's my winning season, huh? Flexing on my demons, huh? Knew the Lord was scheming, wasn't down for no reason, huh? My mood this whole season, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and I came from the bottom of the pot. When I got saved, I was on the block. I got locked with bags in my sock. I got bagged by undercover cops. Up the street from the parking lot. On the way to the barber shop. I'm just grateful that I made it out and see myself off the paper route. Still got homies living in the trenches. I feed homeless women on the benches. We shoot all year like Thanksgiving. On the block, I made a great decision. Then somebody tell me I ain't winning. I got youngers changing how they feeling. Instead of telling them to stop sinning, I just show a better way of living. They still ducking 12. Still bust shells, still bust sales. Look at them numbers on the scale. Me, I'm ducking hell. Try all the what I feel. I say I turn a wheel when I want my life on the scale. Many times I fail, many times I prevail. Satan on my trail, I got God, I'm doing well. Tell myself, I ain't taking no more L. When it sees, 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 it's coming, I believe it, huh? Watch it leave me speechless, huh? It's my winning season, huh? Flexing on my demons, huh? Knew the Lord was scheming, wasn't down for no reason, huh? My mood this whole season, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and I came from the bottom of the pot. When I got locked with bags in my
Good afternoon. Abstrakt Xcilence ABX is in the building. What in the? Oh,
I apologize.
That was
Yeah, I extremely apologize.
unbelievable.
We need some first aid on this show.
Really? Hey, look, man, we got this stuff falling down.
It's going to be a wonderful show today.
What's up, people? We are back to finish what we started.
Oh, yeah.
We had set difficulty. We're together now. We're good.
We're back to finish what we started. The crew is here. So, what's up, y'all?
Hey, hey. Hey,
What's up?
hey, people.
How you doing?
Good afternoon, everyone.
I just told you.
I'm being reserved. How you? Hello. Good afternoon.
Britt, what's good, buddy?
Nothing much, man. How's it going with you? How's the family?
I'm hey,
All right.
family. What's up, y'all? We moved this week. New crib.
Congratulations on the new
Congratulations.
crib.
Thank you.
Proud of the young man. Proud of the young man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Britt,
I'm all right.
cool. Everything cool. Good. Looking good. Feeling good. Nutty man. Hey. So Nutty son. Jay, what's up, Holmes? Congratulations.
Captain.
What happened?
Came in second place.
Came in second place?
Both
No tap outs.
competitions. No tap outs.
Let's go.
Yeah, UFC. Can you stop?
I didn't do nothing.
Why is it the sign sit on your side and it's just all of a sudden it's falling? Ain't nothing been wrong with the sign this entire time.
He tapped the table and fell. You gonna catch me? I get the beat for that baby. That ain't my baby.
Anyways, Neff, the
What up?
Izark. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Chilling. Nothing. Chilling like a villain.
All right.
And of course, the genius, the man, Stanley man, birthday boy.
Happy birthday, Stein.
Happy B-Day,
Happy
yeah.
belated B-Day, Stan. What's up, man?
Not much, enjoying life.
Now we got a party for you at Foot's new house. He got the cake and everything ready for you. So all the ABX fans, come on through Foot's house tonight for a stand party.
I can't even. I'm not even. Yeah, we're not gonna even. We're just gonna go right.
Go right
on
into the
over.
subject.
So, week before last, we had guests. Actually, the last two shows, topic discussion, was a 3-part discussion. Today we're summing it up with the crew. But we've had guests previously. We don't have guests today because we wanted to kind of close it up. So I think we're going to kind of review last week, week before last, which was a great show, led by
Stan the man.
and Miss Megan, who's not here today. And I think we covered some ground, what y'all say.
Yeah, we covered
Sure. We covered some ground in terms of what we believe.
Should have been an after party after that. But.
Yeah, the man-woman dynamic in the household in terms of parent and father figure. Let's go from there. Spring off it. I'm gonna
Do we have any
obviously.
questions?
Yeah. I got it. Obviously, he said something last week. What's changed between then and there?
How has the stereotype changed from dating from then to now?
So listen, before I do this, I want to let y'all know it's been a busy week. So with the move, we haven't really had a chance to discuss exactly what I was thinking. But I knew what I was thinking, so here we go. We've all kind of discussed this briefly, and it's kind of funny because it kind of springboarded right into the situation. So we were talking about, father figures and love versus lust in the relationship dynamic. And T.I., of course.
Here we go, buddy.
Decided to, put that business out there in the street. Now, everybody knows about the T.I. situation, so we're not necessarily going to discuss T.I. because I feel personally that it's nobody's business to really discuss what another. That's not my business, especially when she's 18 and she's. Anywho,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I didn't know what that was. He threw his hands up.
that's all I'm going to say. What you want to say? That's a grown man and his grown daughter, and they didn't done what they didn't done.
Once you put it in social media, once you put it in an outlet like that, it's everybody's business.
I mean, it is at that point, but what I'm saying is it shouldn't. If he put it out there, because he obviously does not care. It's not effective to him.
Right, but me and you talk. We kind of hit on that as far as that, and my personal belief is with that one is. That's a difficult situation by being as though that I have a daughter, but she's older, so I'm on grandkid level now. So, I mean, but back then, controlling that.
That boy's 71.
Yeah. Luke 71. I'm trying to tell you, black don't crack, baby. Black don't crack. But no, seriously, do I agree with him? Honestly, she's 18, and at this point, she's an adult. That's when I say you're going too far. Before that. That is his decision because that's his child.
Right.
Would I do that? Personally, no.
Right.
Personally, no. But do I hate him for doing that? No, because that's his child. Right. He wasn't abusing his child. He was making sure his child wasn't doing anything out there that, could get her or stop her from getting where she needs to be.
So this, I'm sorry, go ahead. Good. Yeah. This is my thing is that I'm not agreeing or disagreeing one way or the other. I'm saying this is not my place. That's what just being honest. Like his results are honestly the results that, as fathers with daughters, we would prefer. Let's all be honest here. Let's keep it completely clean.
True.
So all this nonsense of whatever he's this, that, and the third is a lot of people that want to do what they want to do, and they don't agree with their lifestyle. So how dare you? But the truth is, fathers with daughters don't want them as prey.
Yes.
So that's just clean cut, as my man HaHa would say.
I just think it got blown out of proportion because of who he is, too.
You think so?
And this is a social
because
you think it happens on the regular?
Because what's name pulled out a gun on his daughter date. It ain't. Irv Gotti.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, just recently. Like a week or two ago. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You ain't hear nothing about that.
Like he realized pulled the gun out on the boy while he was coming to pick his daughter up for a date.
But she grown.
And she's grown?
Yeah, she like 20-something.
Right.
Yeah,
so when did you let it go then?
You don't never stop being a father.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the T.I. situation got blown out of proportion. He ain't nothing about the Irv situation.
So I'll say this. I have two daughters, right? And I do agree with Foots. As a father, you don't want your daughter to be she's preyed upon, right? But then there also comes a time when you know that she will be grown and she will, and it's gonna happen. Like I do want grandkids. I just don't want grandkids now anytime soon.
Right.
So what I'm doing now is trying to prepare them to understand that there's a part of your life for that, but not early on in your life. Like I don't disagree with T.I. You know, I don't. Me personally, I couldn't be in the room, but I would want to know.
Right.
I mean, you know,
Exactly.
I'm be honest with you. I want to know. I'd be like, Doc, do me a favor. Hey, go to number 20. Let me know what's going on.
And the thing about it is, females get that checkup every year. So it wasn't like he forced her to get the checkup. It was annually done.
Right.
Anyway,
So
right.
I mean, what's
That,
the nonsense about?
To me personally, and I don't want, like you said, I don't want to really get into it because I don't really want to comment on him as such, but just as my personal opinion on that, if you go by what you see on TV, he's a vicious control freak.
Right.
So, but when it comes to his child, do I agree with that? Honestly, I'm on the borderline with that. You know what I mean? Because certain times you can go too far. You get what I'm saying? Or when you try to control too much, that's what makes the child rebellious. You understand what I mean? When you're doing too much. Now, mind you, it worked out for him, but we forget there was a better half to that just as well. She has a mom. She actually has two moms. Because, you know, that's not with Tiny.
Right.
She's not with Tiny. So she has another mom and plus Tiny. So it's not that he's doing it by himself to help her stay on the right path. Let's not forget that. It takes a village. But it's just it just got, like you say, it's blown out proportion because of whom he is. You know what I'm saying? Who he
Everybody gotta do what's best for them. And if he feel like that was the best decision he could do for his daughter, then hey.
But why the expectation wasn't the same for his son?
That's it.
we was heading that direction. with the guys in here with son. We were heading that direction. Yeah. I'm going to back out of that one real quick.
Hold on.
And then Anthony and Jermaine.
I see Brother Band over there. Someone give him the NWO jam.
Well, I want to say that, you know, we should also keep in mind this is celebrity children.
True.
That's a little bit different. People are especially preying on celebrity children. Like, you got to look at the track record from the Britney Spears to the Miley's to all these people. You know, even you got Lori Harvey jumping from person to person to person. Like a lot of these people are out to prey on them specifically. That's these stars' weaknesses. But I will say too, on the opposite spectrum, like, okay, T.I. is doing that for his daughter. I think it is also the same way for men in two ways. You know, a lot of celebrities don't want their son to be preyed on by men or women.
And I was about to lead in because I got boys and I'm raising them a lot different than the way I was raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like look at Magic Johnson's son.
Oh yeah.
Like, think about celebrities. They don't want their son to end up like that. That's what I think they
completely clean. And nobody wants to.
I'm not going to touch that.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same in a certain kind of way, but not exactly the same.
At the end of the day, man, listen. We all enjoy it. Sex is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But it's a distraction too early on.
Yeah.
And if as children, teenagers, young adults, you're gonna make your decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my objective is not to control my children's life. My job now is to invest now and push the things into them that they need to make the right choices later. And I gotta trust that process. This is where faith comes in. Right? You know, my life is faith. You know what I'm saying? It's based off of faith. It's faith. Like, so I'm trusting the process now. So we talked about the boys on the flip side of that to answer your question. So even right now, my oldest, that transition, he's about to be 13. I'm not the father that's like, yeah, my boy, you know. No, that's not. We can't do that because the first thing I thought, the first little girl, it's like, listen, hold on. Why is her parents letting her? Because I know if that little one over there was talking about some little 12-year-old boy. It's too early.
Yeah.
So I'm already thinking the flip side of it. So for me, it is a double-edged sword because I have
Girl
this
and
baby here.
And me and one of my kids, they
And-
27. We talked about it.
And he's having a whole nother conversation on Facebook Live. So that said, like I don't personally subscribe to it being different, Brett.
Yeah, man.
But we do live in a society where masculinity says, well, you know, we are hunters that hunt prey, and yet our daughters aren't part of that prey, but we have to have somebody to hunt, but it's still somebody's daughter.
Right.
right.
So you don't ever really, it doesn't click through until you in that situation.
Right.
And that's all of us. We have to grow up, we have to mature, we have to learn. But once you kind of know better, then that's when it's on you. It's on you to make better choices. It's on you to decide, you know what, I got to trust the process and know that even if it don't feel good, man, this might be boring. Might be boring to do, might be repetitive, but listen, the right thing to do is the best thing to do because at the end of the day, they going to eat what we poop, so to speak, without being graphic.
Right.
And some stuff they gonna deal with that we may not even
even
live
dealt
to
with.
see. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Them deal with or help them with. So it's better to choose better now,
Not-
be proactive than
Not
reactive.
only is like sex a distraction at a young age, it could be addictive too.
That's part of the distraction.
Can be,
It's
or
just
it
it's
is.
a.
Yeah, it is.
It
So
is.
can I chastise
At that age,
T.I.?
very much so.
Yeah.
When he kept his daughter for 18 years from being distracted from something that we clearly all agree is a distraction. His methods, maybe I don't agree with him, but
Right.
I can clearly see on social media that these grown women, I'm just.
Hey,
Well, let me ask you a question.
but
Let
you
me-
you need to nail on the hammer. Like these grown women as entertainers, they ain't good role models neither.
Let me ask you this.
Look at what the younger generation got to look up to.
That's another story. Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. When we talk about that, now I agree with what you're saying. You know, as far as I don't agree with his methods.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, when do we start saying, well, they work? You get what I'm trying to say? But we also know, being adults, and you know, and that we can think on our own. Everything doesn't work for everybody.
Amen.
You know, something that works for Malcolm might not work
You're
for
part
me.
of this conversation.
Yeah.
Just chiming in. Go ahead.
He's decided to come back to ask you. Okay, go ahead.
So we're talking about T.I. and the decision he made, and yes, a lot of it was him, but what about her? Does she not get any credit for not doing it? Because no matter what he did, if she really wanted to have sex, she could have gone.
Oh yeah,
and
she
had
wanted
sex.
to. Yeah.
So where's her credit for saying, you know
We
what?
don't know if he
choose
had
to-
security with her.
That's
though.
true,
You know,
though.
by her being a celebrity child, do you think she might have had security with her the whole time?
Doesn't make a
But
difference.
still,
what you
nah.
have.
You know, I mean, I get what you're trying to say. If you want to
Yeah.
do something, you're going to do
You're
something.
gonna do something.
I get
You
that.
could have
This is
easily
I
skipped school or
kind of
something.
want you to, because I want you to lean in on this. I'm kind of jumping on something you said
They go
before.
to. She was they calling me.
You made this.
You understand what I mean? You paying money for them schools. They calling
What
me.
is it we were talking about? Process. Nevertheless, what we were just talking about as far as trusting the process, right?
Yeah.
It's basically repeated in a different way, basically. And if you, I'm adding it. It's a good point.
So that's another point for me.
Anywho, Stan talked to me about as far as having the 3 different brains.
Yeah,
Can you break that down? Anybody like? Can you
Oh.
express that conversation a little bit? 'Cause
Oh
I'm sure
well, yeah. You have the real mind, the real thing that knows that everybody has is the heart. A lot of people don't consider the heart to be a brain, but it's the first brain. It's the first mind. It's the mind that builds the rest of your body and your brain. Your brain, people use to calculate and think. People think the brain is accurate, but really it's the heart that is the knower that knows. And the gut is your instinctual mind.
So in understanding that, I wanted to, because I didn't want to explain something from a place, that's where I was coming from, where I'm going to go with this. What he just said, and what we're talking about, when you get to a certain point and you understand within yourself all 3 things are aligned, you have to trust now. You have to absolutely trust and have faith in that process, that everything that you've done to align all 3 brains, so to speak. But, you know, it's the mind, body,
That's
and
easier
spirit.
said than done.
It is, and that's the clutch. That's what we get when you just ask the question of when is enough enough.
My mind.
You have to
Yeah,
at some
cut it
point
up, so
find that.
get that mind working later.
That's how where you push, where you say, you know what, you got to fly, baby.
Right.
Because at some point you're hindering your child then, at a certain age, by doing that. You're enabling it.
But then you have some parents. To me,
You gotta let them choose for themselves.
Right, personally,
Yeah.
you have some parents that try to correct their mistakes with
With
their
the
children.
child.
Through their children.
Yeah.
And I see that a lot lately.
Yes.
That's
you know,
real.
you
That's a
understand what I
great
mean?
point.
You
Yeah,
get-
great
and when
point.
you see that, it's very disconcerting when you see that. Okay, understand you made your mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Right.
That's what's growing and you're learning. That's where it comes from making your mistakes. But when you realize, take what you've done wrong and try to correct it through your child,
Right.
it is so wrong because that child is not doing the same exact thing that
Exactly.
you possibly were doing.
do
You
this.
know
I
what I'm
need
saying?
gotta
So
do
you
it
should have
this
learned
way.
from your mistakes, so
Yeah.
you don't have to
Right.
do that.
You
to take it out on
you
your
got to
child.
do it this way. You do
Yeah,
it this
you,
way. I
you,
said
you're wrong when you do it like this.
Right.
No, I mean, we all, that's one of the things
We're
that
all
my kids,
unique.
they'll tell you they're a little all guilty sometimes. But,
But these kids nowadays, honestly, they're a lot smarter than what we were.
oh, most
for
definitely.
They're very much,
Without a
they're,
doubt. Yeah.
oof, without a
Definitely
doubt.
not smarter
Yeah.
than pounds.
Yes.
I mean, kids don't get a chance to be kids anymore. And I heard that comment, but I'm gonna take care of that later on Facebook Live. But kids don't play games anymore. Like I was over, the ABX new house, which is supposed to own. We all are part of that. Just not hanging out. So I was over the ABX Fun House the other day with him and his kids, and yeah, my name on the contract. I was actually downstairs playing with his kids. Like we were playing Beyblade, and one of them quit on Madden and tried to pick an all Madden team because he couldn't beat me.
Shout
We're not
out
gonna
to
get in that
Jay.
either.
What's up, son?
And I remember playing with his, me and his daughter were down there playing. Like they were actually being kids. Like you don't get kids that want to actually just have fun. Like we played like 3 or 4 different things without finishing any of it. It's just being.
Say that again. You picked about 3 or 4 different things.
Yeah,
without
we
finishing any
about
of
3 or 4 different things. We ain't finished nothing. But we had fun, and like I've been
But
over
that's what
other
kids
friends'
do.
house, and their kids are busy being babysitters and cleaning, and sitting there in our conversation and lyric and watching, adult shows.
Shout out to Larry. Congratulations. That's today, too.
But yeah, congratulations, lyric.
I caught that.
King of Boys and Girls Club on your victory, Jeff.
KBC. Shout out y'all some talented little girls.
Yeah.
I know my niece. Hey, Moo.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, you done?
Oh well, yeah, I'm finished.
Oh.
Are you done?
Are
you
done?
finished?
Three of y'all.
But I want to retouch back on. I want to ask the guys because you already kind of chimed in on it, but I'm going to ask Anthony. But being as though you have a son, what are you instilling in him now? At the age that he is, and you can say his age, nephew.
He's 12, so at the moment I'm teaching him, to be successful and like to like try new things as far as like he went from playing just sports to like now he's in the piano.
Right,
you know
name the
what I'm
things,
saying?
MMA and all this stuff.
MMA, he done it all: basketball, boxing, football,
So you keep him busy.
swimming. He does swimming like
Are these things that he's asking you that he wants to do, or you put him out there,
Well,
like you line him up and say, hey,
the thing-
pick something you want to do.
The thing about it is like the way we grew up, we had outlets.
Right.
Today these kids don't have no outlets. So I made it my business to make sure he's always in some type of
There you
extracurricular
go.
activities.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as like not just doing school and just going home and just being on a game or just you know what I'm saying, not being active. So it was me and his mom just and his grandparents just putting him into stuff.
You're actively in his
And
life.
whatever he didn't like, we didn't force him to do it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he's doing, he wants to do it.
Right. He enjoys doing
He enjoyed doing
it.
it.
Got you.
Respect.
So
That's why you're on the show.
Driving to that young buck.
Yeah, actually, back to the question you asked him, I get perspective from my side, the
Right.
son's side. And what my father instilled in me was I always seen him always on the grind, working, everything. So when I seen that, I was like, all right, cool. That's in me. I'm about to get on my grind.
Right.
So when that transferred over to when I was in college, I was always moving. I was always out the room. Maybe not the first couple of months, but after that, and I was everywhere.
Keep going.
You couldn't tell me where to go anywhere.
But that's what goes into where you have someone there that can show them these things.
So
No, go
but
ahead.
you posed the question, so I'm gonna need you to chime in to where that came from.
I was just wondering. I don't know.
She got tired of talking about the females. What about men?
It's so quiet and reserved. I sometimes try to force her to get her thing in, because
Trust me. What
So-
you
So
say?
it's like, that's shocking me, but I got my own platform.
I just think the standard for men and women are totally different. That's why.
But that's
just
true. I
asked.
mean, we all know
That's
that.
a
Yeah,
But
that's
if you
why I
look-
wanted you
Very
to
true.
If you look at it,
Yeah.
it's always been a double standard too, though.
Always.
Because
We been able to do whatever we want.
Let her finish.
Well,
Hold on.
Good.
As far as instilling the young, I'm the oldest of four. I have a 13-year-old sister right now and a 16-year-old sister. And I'm just looking at their generation like, I get scared. I went to the football game Friday night, y'all, and it's totally different. They not live like we used to be. You know, we used to live for like Friday night lights. We at the game, they ain't got no band. The chili is dry.
What they doing?
Oh, I'm about to say.
This is at McKinley Tech.
I'm about to
The
say.
chilies were dry.
Ooh, did put, ooh.
And there was nothing going on.
The problem was who you went to.
Put it on the tape. Let them know what they lacking in. McKinley, step your game up, McKinley. You had no band.
Quickly. So my niece goes to tech and she's actually
Uh-oh.
in the back.
Yeah, she sorry.
So she that's where you heard all the trouble from. But we're Crimson Tide around
Dunbar.
here.
I don't know about that. I'm a clerk. I'm a clerk.
He's a Rambler, but it's 3 times.
clerk.
I tell you this, one thing that we got a band at Dunbar. At least we gonna have some music out there. DJ,
Well,
at
they
least
had a
something.
band.
Down the
Their band
phone.
was just-
They ain't had no band in McKinley. I'm sorry, y'all go ahead. I'm just
the
upset
best band in
that,
DC.
you
But
know.
nevertheless, we getting off topic.
All right, but back to our point, like,
Superstars come out of my school.
Okay. Go ahead.
I
Sis.
try to tell, like, the 16-year-old one, she's very active. She does color guard. She tried swimming. I guess it wasn't her thing, but she tried it. And she actually models. But I'm like, just stick something and pick to it and, you know, see where the potential takes you. Don't just give up and say, you know, I tried it, I don't want to do it. I'll be like, stick it, pick to it. I'm like, it's a lot of life too you can be exposed to in life when you take that talent and just keep pushing. Versus the 13-year-old one, she just like back here chilling. I talked to her, I be like, you need to try something, you know. But what she really wants to try, she wants to box. But she said our dad didn't want her to box. So I'm just like, I think he should have let her try it, even though like you can try it and then if she get hurt or anything, then pull her out. But at least let her try it. If you expose them to something different, then they'd be willing to stick with it. You know, that's
You
all.
should ask me who hustles the hardest at basketball practice with my kids. And I don't stop it.
The younger one, I believe it. The girl,
Shorty's a runner. Like,
I believe
She
it.
better than her phone with a shot.
we gonna have
She want
a
outside photo.
Hey, man, I'm not seeing it from the angle I'm seeing it from.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what's going on with him. We gonna replace him with some type of iRobot or something.
I robot.
No, he's not because he's cheap. It might just be a styrofoam head or something.
She probably got the better form and all that. She girl power.
She can go though. But nevertheless, that double standard thing.
Be honest.
It's tricky. It's
Be
super
honest.
tricky. Go ahead, Stan.
I got something to say about that. I think women don't really look at how powerful they are because we don't know our history. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that women look at it like it's a double standard, but we just two totally different creatures, actually. You know what I mean? The woman is the receiver. Like we was talking about T.I.'s daughter. Like a lot of us too not looking at that. T.I. is very spiritual, and he even spoke on a thing called, you know, what people call now soul ties. And when you have sex, your energy intertwines with another person's energy, and you could take on their characteristics. You could take on a whole lot. You could be a totally different person having intercourse with the wrong kind of person.
Energies.
Yeah,
Like we talk about all
and
the time.
the woman is more deeply affected because the woman carries a nation in her womb. You know, it's something I always say all the time, that no man is greater than his mother. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? So the whole double standard argument, I think it's kind of, I think we just don't know enough about
And
ourselves.
I didn't. That would be going into which we can again. We're gonna give Stan has Ascension Hour is going to be Ascension Corner. I'm
Yeah, the
sorry.
Ascension
Y'all gotta
segue.
Yeah, you gotta stay on the
Yeah,
lookout
yeah.
because Stan's
That's
gonna go
coming.
top off. But that's basically the whole point where I said it's kind of tricky. I was getting at you just broke it down for me. But
Yeah.
so it's tricky because it's considered a double standard in our modern day society. But the reality is, it's the protection of the womb birth. So I mean the seed birth. So you protecting. That is absolutely. It's not to say that as men we are protected in our own right. We can protect ourselves. But
and
our seabirds have to be protected.
Right,
Yeah,
and then not
agree
only
with
that, like we taught history in a backwards perspective. Like if you really look at ancient history, the women were always the rulers. Like I bet y'all didn't know. Throw this one at y'all. California, they didn't even change the name. Right, it was a queen that ruled there. Her name was Khalifa. They just used her name to make it California. That whole West Coast was her territory, and she ruled a queendom of all women. She would not accept any men in her queen. If you came there and a man, she would kill you on the spot. And she ruled the West Coast all the way up until 13 colonies. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying women are historically powerful. Women have always been the real rulers. Even when you talk about Egypt or Kemet, people think the pharaoh was the ruler. It was really the pharaoh who was the one who ruled.
So
And the man was the one who was out and who went about amongst the people. But the woman was the ruler.
And that goes back to what we talked about last week, and basically still saying what he's saying, agreeing with what he's saying.
Matriarchal.
Right.
We were always matriarchal. Europeans, the white man, flipped it and turned it into a patriarchy. Now we all look up to a man. But everybody knows their grandma, the auntie, or their mama rules the
Look at any
family.
black family.
Yeah.
That's the matriarch.
Because it's the soul.
My aunt was
so
the
here
matriarch
we
of my
go.
family, so.
It goes to when we talking, the soul of a family is where you will find the three different levels and things. The soul is the heart.
Yeah.
Right? And when you understand that, that's what the woman is. But when we talked last week, what this whole discussion has been about is male versus female, the lust versus love dynamic. And when you start to understand that and round it all back up, as I said we would, I told you it would just happen naturally. You round it back up, you get the submission couldn't possibly be weakness. When we started with that,
It's the
with
position of
women
power.
not understanding what submission means as a woman, which is why the structure of marriage and family has been broken down. This is why you don't understand the difference between love and lust, because you don't even understand who you are. You don't even understand your real power and purpose is not to be out here rolling around with anybody for fun.
Right.
You are absolutely a queen, and you should treat yourself as such. It is not to be passed out all which way. And I'm sorry, I know, fellas, because I've been guilty of whatever. I'm not saying that, but the truth is, it's not, and that's unfortunate for us. But you got to work for it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because we had to work for it. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm married to their mothers because it did not happen. I had to work for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It had
It was
to be
almost
earned.
a year. And we were Friday, 23 years, ironically. Friday. shout out to
Respect.
wife, happy anniversary. Our
Happy
first
anniversary,
date was
wife.
November 15th,
Scorpio season.
1996. We went to go see Set It Off at 7:30 at Wheaton Plaza.
Did you cry?
What? They trying to do that joint over.
Nah,
You
we-
did?
Yeah, set up
Make
too.
his name on the show, 'cause he was doing that.
Yeah, she-
Oh, okay. I thought he shed a tear. But look at that.
I was trying my hand, but it wasn't working.
Oh,
She wasn't having it. She wasn't
She
having
was
it.
setting it
So
up.
what happened was I got
so
to
you know how the whole movie started, middle, and ended.
I actually seen the whole daggone movie.
That's a good thing.
No,
That's
not
a good
really.
thing.
Man, I was
It's a beautiful thing.
I did not plan it that way. I really
We never do.
But that's
Yeah.
How
that's
many
another
times did it
thing.
take for her, like, to say, yeah, y'all was gonna be official? Like, you made that decision or she made that decision?
Listen, she actually, so we'll talk about this one day, that story of, it's been long, but she actually told me from jump, right? Because my history in middle school was a little sketchy and we met in middle school. So she already knew. So she off the break, I kind of knew, but I was like, me being me, like, right. She told me off the break, no, I'm not, because she was a virgin. So I'm not. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. So the thing was, she was going to wait till she got married. I did break that, but I waited a year, solid.
Good man.
Yeah, because I might not be with him now.
And 16.
I'm out.
16.
3 weeks later.
Yeah.
I'm out.
He said 3 weeks
So
later.
that thing of, oh, yeah, it don't matter if you wait or don't wait. It does, because it does not. The actual action of distracts you. Listen, I'm just saying, like, everybody is different.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Hold on.
Everybody's
But
different.
everybody's
Everybody's different. You have some people that, you know what I mean, that are
Right,
still
no,
together
if-
from the
if we
first
get-
night they
True.
You know what I mean?
that's true.
And they've been married for 30, 40 years.
Absolutely.
To each his own.
So I'm saying
that.
the
But I get what you're
distraction,
saying.
the distraction part of at a young age.
You want
that's
that
what-
kind of-
Yeah, I want that type of love. You understand me?
That's
That's what I'm looking for. I'm tired of the good time. I want the long time.
At
you
this
know?
age, we don't have.
Yeah, I don't have that much
we
longer
don't
on this
have
planet,
that
man. So
time.
I'm trying to get it in when I
Hold on,
feel it.
understand we talking about the love versus lust dynamic as it applies to how we can build as parents and understanding what it means for our children. And right now we're talking about the TI situation, so I know we're talking about a few different things. I want to make sure everybody understands it's all one thing. We're not getting away from the topic. As I just said, we can't get somewhere without understanding who we are.
Right.
And the problem with all of it, and really summing it all up, is we really don't know who we are, both as men and women, but also as melanin folk. We don't really know who we are. So we out here feeling like we doing whatever and we grown and we so powerful, but really we out here just anything.
Question real quick. Well, I basically either one of y'all.
All right.
Well, it's actually a statement. When you look back in the day, when I see it back, I'm speaking for my family. The old country days, if you want to put it like that, where the woman stayed home and they nurtured the children. They instilled the values in the children.
Yeah.
That's where I came. That's where I come from. Right. And the man went out and worked. Now the things are different now.
Yeah,
where women are actually saying, you can stay home,
Yeah,
and I go out and work. And so that's where I see a lot of changes come from also. And do you see that as well?
Yeah.
That's what I see, because that's what I seen my mother instill that in my sister. You know, my mother told my sister, the less you show, you get what I'm saying? It keeps it to their imagination.
Yeah.
You know, when you promote more, what do you give him? He sees it all. It's right in his face.
Right.
So he has nothing to go searching for. When did that change? You understand what I mean? Coming from that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just throw that on you. Like, just pop in the head, you know.
You always give me one.
Yeah, I got to get you.
You always give me one.
It was last week. Do you recall my head bob? You know,
Go ahead.
I'll take this one, guys.
Oh.
And then you do this.
Then we move it in there. Now go ahead.
So part of the parenting change, because over the last, I don't know, couple of months I've been back with Foots and been around Stan. I haven't changed my parenting, but I changed how I teach my daughters now, because I don't want to. They have really strong personalities.
Yeah.
And I don't want. I used to try to quell something. I was like, I don't want you to be too loud, or I don't want you to be, too boisterous. But that's them. I want them to be confident to do what you need to do. Like my daughter moved from the back of the line to now she's carrying the sign when she's doing cheerleading. She's up in the front row. So part of that is because she was, I was willing to push her and help nurture what she liked, what you were saying. So being part of that male aspect is missing in our kids' lives as well. Right. Like she enjoys being around me. She enjoys being around Foots, and she we went to the mall the other day, guys. Do you know she stayed with Tony the whole time? He probably wanted to go crazy, but she enjoyed being around him. But it's the like I said, it's the male aspect of letting a woman see what a good man or a real man is, and the respect that they have.
Yeah.
So instead of it just being her around her mother or and her mother friends, and not saying they're doing anything wrong, but they act differently. Women still act differently. They tend to say, I'm trying to use the proper words so I can go home.
Clean it up in your head. Go ahead.
They tend to downplay the opposite sex and make us look weaker, actually, at times.
Yeah.
When they are together. This guy doesn't do this, or this guy doesn't, and the girl takes that, and then when she goes to, and I'm not saying all women, but then when she goes to her father, who she might see on the weekend, that's her view of him already. Dad is only a weekend guy, so I don't have to pay attention to him. I mean, I have my daughters Monday through Friday, basically. So, and it does instill a difference in how they look at men and treat men and respond to men.
Because you're there?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Because I'm in their life.
Right.
And a lot of kids now don't have, I give Foots his credit. He's been saying about the man in the family and how much of a part it does play a role in a female's life as well as a male's life. It does change, in their perspective. Like, my daughter hates to disappoint me. She can't, that's one of her things that she hates to disappoint me.
And this is where it gets tricky and nobody wants to really have the conversation.
That's why I put it on there.
Yeah. So, check it out. The dynamic. Real man Please, right?
And then I know we all looked at the camera like, was somebody coming through the camera? I was waiting for
So when
someone.
he said, check it out, I started to look back.
Once you have taken that step to understand, okay, I'm going to be here. Once you're in there, you realize your presence actually means something, right? That's then a different burden because now, every day you get up, everything you speak, every decision you make, it has to come with the idea in mind that, listen, it may not even be about them, but it could lead back to them. So you have to up the ante. You got to change your perspective. You got to change how you make choices. You got to change the things you do, and everything becomes, okay, I got to be better by example. And I'm not talking about going to chase the bag. I'm talking about just here. Oh, my bad. I'm talking about just in the heart, in the soul, in the spirit. Because, listen, I want better. Therefore, I will conceive better. I absolutely will. And everybody that's been around me knows this is exactly how it works. Listen, faith tells me I'm going to go get it. All up or what?
Nothing.
There you go. We're going to go get it. That's not money. That's just a better life. That's a better way you're talking about, like our kids. I went to lyrics competition yesterday.
Yeah, shout out to Foot for supporting.
Yes, it's my niece though, but I wonder them little girls are super talented. Like I'd never been to a competition. It's like, wow, these little girls are actual athletes.
Did you see that little light-skinned little girl in the front? That was my niece.
Oh yeah. Brie Love, yeah.
She's won many of competitions. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, see what I'm saying? Like we have our man G Norris, his daughter's also part of it.
Oh yeah.
And like we all. What ABX is trying to create a feeling. It's a movement. It's a moment. It's something for all of us to bring back together what we had, but in a different way to evolve it. And this topic has been something that really helped us really push that as well. You know, as we move into writing.
Can I throw? I just want to throw this in there because I don't know if the crowd has noticed over the last couple of weeks we've been talking. The one thing that is constant that we all say is how we are involved in each other's kids' lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
How, like, I mean, I know Anthony's son. You know, he used to call him Uncle Mike when he got older and said I play too much. I know all of Jermaine's kids. Like they, you know, they look forward to me coming over, messing with them. I know Anthony's daughter, she was grown.
Why you got to say my name like that? But go ahead.
Bree Love's daughter, who is grown. You know, like Stan, you know, knows our families, and my mother. Shout out to Stan. My mother loves Stan. She, like, that's the favorite person on the radio. So sorry about that. but we're all a constant in each other's kids' lives to help bloom. Give me a word.
Yeah,
like,
But it goes back
You
to it
will
takes a
reap what
community.
you
It takes
sow. It's
yeah.
really simple. It's simple. Yeah,
It really does take a community.
but that's how we were raised, though.
Right.
We were all.
But that's how we were
What
born.
you
You
put
get
in
what I'm
is
saying?
what you gonna get out.
But it got
in the end.
lost going down
Yeah,
the line.
because people
So,
stop putting in. They just want to
But
get
let me
taken out.
I'm going to change the subject, but it's still the same subject. What about the men that come into a family that's already there? You understand what I mean? Me and you touched on that
actually,
subject.
I told you that. Like,
Right.
if you know here we go again. It comes back to somehow I always get it back to you, Stan. It comes back to what we talking about as far as what Stan just said, knowing who you are. One of the things I mess with you about is you being a butthole sometimes. A part of you being a butthole is you knowing who you are.
All day in the
When
paint.
you understand your value and you take no shorts, you then offer something to that situation because you're not coming into that situation trying to take from that household. You're
Right.
coming into that woman's life and sure to add and lead that household. Now, whether she's woman enough to understand submission means strengthen that situation and respect what you are. That's a different thing. It's how y'all relationship goes and how that works.
But
that
remember
then
we
is
hit on, Faz, you have some women that have been without a partner for so long
that they don't know how
that
to-
they've incorporated that they've done everything themselves, so they don't know how to incorporate a man into that.
Yep.
Because they're so used to doing it themselves.
And they can't value you at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Like
gotta-
I
they
cook,
gotta-
I clean, I do everything.
they
I pay
gotta-
all the bills.
they
I do
gotta
this.
learn to
I
get
take
on
the
the
car
same
to the
level.
What do I need you for?
They
You
gotta
get what I'm
learn-
saying?
they
They have
gotta
that
learn to get on the
mindset.
same level,
And
though.
then,
They got to learn to get on the same level.
But it's-
It
I
can't
get
be
what you're
ba- it
saying,
can't
but
be
it-
balanced. If they can't, even if they've been independent for so many years,
Right.
and say for instance you come in and you willing to make more of the situation, if they can't get on the same level and make it work, then they just ain't trying.
Well, I'm gonna speak from the side. I play devil's advocate in this as well. You know how I am. I play devil's advocate. Then you have some women that have been through so much turbulence, if I use that word, in their life. You know, far as with men, that it's hard for them to understand and give that up. It takes a special man to be able to do that. And when I'm looking at in this generation, and I'm being honest, you can send a hate mail to me. This younger generation, they don't know how to be men. You understand what I mean? But that falls on us, as we discussed before. We're not showing them. That's why I like what Malcolm was saying, how you guys get together, and it's not that he's changing what he's doing with his daughter. It's just, it's just more. It's just, he's upping the ante because he knows how serious it is out here, and that's just basically.
If I was to go in a relationship and look at everything I've been through in a previous relationship, I would be cheating myself if I let that hold me back from this new relationship.
You hit a good point.
Go ahead. I feel it's thing.
Nah, that's the biggest point right there. That everybody is unique and different. Like, how can we get to the point where we are sitting around saying that, okay, we're going to get the same experience from every single person that we come across? At that point, you creating the experience. You no longer just accepting
that toxic energy coming into play.
Yeah.
And I think somebody said something, I don't know who said it, but I think part of
That's me. That's my quote.
Part of, I think, what we get it. Oh no, you talking about these youngest. Part of what we get it twisted is sometimes we know who we are, right? And different people that we come in contact with that aren't good for us, they change the makeup of our value on ourselves. And unfortunately, we're not honest enough with ourselves to say, we were weak in this situation, and we faulted to peer pressure, or we faulted to this person energy rubbing off on us. But this is where it gets tricky, because we know some situations that we end with friends and family and things of that magnitude, where it says, you know what, I have to lift my level of expectation for myself. And then, hold on, but then, this is where it says, hold on, but then I can't allow the people around me to just float and hang on to getting where they got to go with my faith. Because my faith can take a few with me, but I need you to be training in your faith too, because I need us to get stronger and bigger. That's why it's like, okay, if you want better, I need to see you want better. I'm gonna help you get there, absolutely, because that's what I was put here to do. Right? You know what I'm saying? This has nothing to do with money. It's saying leadership at this point. But you got to raise your level of expectation and raise the level of expectation of people around you too at that point. And then that's where it gets tricky, because some people gonna fall off. Some people you ain't even gonna cut off. This is gonna cut themselves off, and it's like, why did that happen?
They gonna fall to the wayside.
But that's what I told you when it comes to that standard. We talked about standard.
Yeah, but you gotta be okay with living at that though.
But that's the thing.
And some people
it's all a process.
It is.
Once you set that standard and you stay at that standard, like you said, people gonna fall off because they can't meet that standard.
No, they can't.
If you set a standard and say, look, this is what it is, this is gonna be, the people who understand and want to elevate themselves and uplift themselves will go to reach that standard. Like we've talked about before. What is it? The standard changes you. You don't change the standard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you stay at that standard, people, because I've lost a couple of friends along the way because I've decided to change my standard.
And when do we do
that?
When you good sleep last night. Y'all bringing it today. Good sleep last night. See that?
Oh yeah, me and you. That was me and you.
Okay, so that's a great example of that. Like, we get caught up in this because our family and friends are the guiltiest ones of it. We get to this place where we know, all right, we're in our groove, and then all of a sudden you feel good. You feel this energy. You don't want to let certain things around you. You don't want. Oh, and then it's you think you better. Yeah. Who you think you are? You get this negative energy all of a sudden around you, like, oh, you arrogant.
Yeah, I get that.
And then hold on, then you, in your weakness, falter to it because you like, nah, I'm still me. I gotta keep it real. Let me show them.
Right.
Instead of saying, you know what? All right, whatever you say, I'm gonna keep elevating because elevation requires isolation.
Yeah.
So if that means that's what I gotta do for them, if I need to plant the seeds now and isolate myself from, listen, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry.
You gotta do it. I mean, and how you gotta look at it too is that they're not gonna respect you for being the same. You know what I mean? They're gonna downplay. They want you to be small when you're really supposed to be tall. You know, when you leave, and nobody can lie. Or say whatever, but they're going to respect you for becoming bigger and larger and growing into who you're supposed to be, regardless if they don't like it or not. 5 or 10 years later, they're going to come to you and be like, you know what, I really respect your movement. You know what I mean? It's just, one thing I was going to say earlier that relates to a lot of what we're talking about is like, people need healing. You know what I mean? Like serious healing.
Amen.
Reiki,
Amen.
crystals, yoga,
Talking-
whatever you need to do
Hot yoga.
to get that heart right.
To talk about our journey last time.
Therapy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nah, me Stan, and nephew went on a journey. It wasn't hot yoga, but we went to a crystal store. We went to
Went to the herbal store first.
Herbal store first.
Went to the herbal store in the hood.
Yeah.
We walked in. She was like, "Oh man, your eyes, your blood
it's
circulation.
insane.
Let me get you this bit of crystals."
Yeah.
She was just reading us like a book. Then we went to Crystal Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to Crystal Fox.
Yeah.
Shout out to, what is the name of the herbal store?
We gotta have a whole field
My
trip.
little Indian
A
auntie.
natural herb
Yeah.
center.
Yeah,
Natural herb center.
Natural herb center.
Right next to
You know,
King
next time y'all
Kong.
go on these field trips.
I don't know what she do, Miss Natural Herb.
Trying
to roll.
Amazing. It's my little Indian auntie, man.
Yeah, man. We gotta all take a field trip. We gotta take a field trip.
Try and roll next
Yeah,
time.
that.
No, I asked him a question. I was trying to finish. Give me so much energy. You know?
Yeah,
No, hold up. Now, I will say this. Now, when they came back, first came back,
You ain't go?
you just thought, no, they left me. You know, they don't like to take me. So I'm going to let y'all know. So they only take me to certain places. They don't take me everywhere that they go. That's all. But when first came back, you just thought he went to Mecca. 'Cause I thought Stan. So I don't know what Stan was saying. He was talking to me about, greater planes and crystals and all this money on crystals, man, and he needs some more. So I will agree that he went to the Mecca. That he changed his way and thought of life, because he tried to explain some of them to me, but it didn't come off the way he did. So all I got up was a trip for him, Stan. They were burning leaves and rocks.
The herb, the sage, yeah.
Sage smell like a little.
Yeah, see how it all started was, bro was saying we about to move in this new spot, and I want to get a good reset, and I want it to be clear. So first thing that came to my mind was sage, and we was on the hunt for sage, and that's how all that
Straight.
So
listen,
next
my
time you go,
my house energy.
can you bring some angry woman back to my house? I need
Oh
some angry
yeah,
woman.
I got something for that.
Boy said I need
Sage
something
is
for
good
every
for that too.
So anybody got
God.
some sage
We gonna
out
get
there, I
canceled
need
because
some
of
to
him.
burn them out every morning, but I need to burn them
know
like
it now.
24 hours straight. Yeah.
See what I
Need to
mean?
burn in a tiki torch.
Yeah, y'all got a lot of sleep last night. Oh, I gotta get some sleep.
Not on my phone. I'm going to bed like 9:30. You can stay at bed, but I know more. I can't.
Your life done changed. We
Yeah.
going to bed at 9:30, but back to the
This
jet
is seriously like, we've been growing, and well, this isn't just this once every week thing. We'll be here every week starting in 2020. I told y'all last week. Shout out to
He'll be here once
I
a
don't want
month.
to forget Box Wave, Star Imports, Reggie. Thank you. We appreciate you. Also, the coat drive. Please drop off your coats here. Somebody's here all during the week at all times.
Yeah. The dealership accepts them too. You know, it's basically a bin over here in the dealership, and we put all the coats in there. And I think we take sneakers too.
Okay, so any lightly worn
give them
or
a shoe.
new donations of coats
Yeah.
and shoes.
Anything you
please
got,
do.
you know,
Station 4711 Arthur Road,
Nah.
Yeah.
Suitland, Maryland.
Yep.
When is the last day?
I spent too much
When is
money.
the last?
It's all the way through Christmas.
All the way through.
Oh, we got all the way through Christmas.
So
Yeah.
it's no
I got
rush,
enough time to
but-
go in other people's closets and take their
We just trying to keep the homeless
For the people.
warm
For
and
the
whatnot, you know, for the people.
I want
If
to
you have
show
coats, we'll come to
love
you.
to the Divine.
What?
Group. Our
Putting foots in them out there.
no, we are not coming to you. Whoever just heard that. Shout out to the Divine Group, Reverend James Black. This is our publishing company who is going to be bringing our book to you, our compilation book to you in 2020. If you have something you want to, we'll talk about that later.
What?
You sound like Sugar Ray pausing. Keep talking.
Yeah.
You all right?
That's it. No, I was about to do something like that. Yeah, I
That strawberry
I
Hennessy,
I
huh?
had it in there.
Shout out to Holy and Strawberry Hennessy.
Oh yeah, on deck.
I don't even know. Can you please?
This man just gave us shout out the strawberry. Oh, God.
Yes, it's Divine Group and our publishing company. But
Gotta love it,
if we still have it after this,
It's a guy to the left. All the way to the far left.
shout out to again Megan and
You know who you are. Shout out to you, baby. Much love to you.
As y'all know, Megan was here week before last. Yes. So make sure y'all go follow Pursuit Tour 2020 and support her. She's part of what we do. Doc, connect to the bridge. I love y'all. Oh yeah, the raffle tickets for Pursuit Tour.
Huh?
I'll get that information out on Abstrakt Xcilence on Instagram. So I don't have all the information. I don't even know why I just mentioned it. I'll get that information out to you on Instagram this week. So that's it. Did I forget any other major shout-outs? I got Fox. Right. So family, love y'all. Jaden off the phone. Y'all know. Wife, mama. Hopefully y'all got that live downstairs on the YouTube feed. Shout out to all my mamas. Mama P, Mama Ann, Mama Bree, Mama V.
Mama Stan.
Mama.
Mama. All the mamas in the
Say
world.
better, my mama bird.
Aiden. Kiddo. I love you.
Did it to my mama bird.
Just know. So,
What is that? Was that
That's it. The show.
is that the beat?
Wait a minute, that's it. We over here.
yeah, we about to get your shouts in quickly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I want to shout out to family, friends, to my two girls, to my girl, to their mothers, to anybody else that I know, and anybody I don't know. Have a great weekend. I mean, it's over, but next weekend is coming up, so you can enjoy that one too.
Britt, you got any shout outs, baby? Pretty, what is it?
Pretty Brown Eyes.
Pretty Brown Eye 24 on Instagram. Brittany Burgess on Facebook.
Singing the choir back.
Books over bullets. All
Took Bernard
love.
solo.
Yeah.
Black Love, what you got? Shout 'em out.
Hey, shout out to you know who you are. I love you. And I see you next time I come back.
Love, L
Family.
Boogie. I forgot you last week. Yeah, sis and them for coming through today. The bosses.
spoken.
The boss.
Nutty.
Shout out to the fam, son. Congratulations,
Nephew.
wifey.
Shout out to my fam sitting out there in the hallway.
Stan V man.
Shout out to everybody, man. Peace and love for everybody, man.
And do it the right way.
Yeah.
No, do it the right way. Shout out to the
my
moon
mother.
and stars and the mountains. I'm
Please, my
sorry.
mother a special shout out because she's like my biggest fan.
Shout out Pound's mom.
Thank you.
Shout
Mr.
out,
McCombs?
shout out
Yeah.
everybody, mom.
I'll see you later.
If you a mother, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to all
All
moms.
seriousness, man. Listen, y'all. We really appreciate everything you do. I appreciate each one of you. Everybody that's here. Everybody
appreciate
that
you,
is
brother.
here. All I ask is, man, just trust and believe.
Trust the process.
It's gonna take us places we never imagined, ever believed. And I ain't talking money, I'm talking family and community. We're gonna do something special for kids we may never see. That said, we love y'all, we appreciate y'all. JD Jacob, what's up, baby boy? The jewel is in the building. JD. Good night. All love, all the time.
Can I do-
all up or
Nothing.
Can I donate draws?
we out of there.
Yeah, he said slightly worn.
Got a little tan inside.
Slightly worn.
Every week,
said
y'all
shoes?
do us what's up, man.
Went over before you asked. Went over before you asked.
ADX is in
Went from ducking 12, now I'm ducking hell. Many times I failed, many times I prevailed. Satan on my trail, I got God, I'm doing well. Had to tell myself, I ain't taking no more L. When it sees, 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 when it sees. When it sees it's coming, I believe it, huh? Watch it leave me speechless, huh? It's my winning season, huh? Flexing on my demons, huh? Knew the Lord was scheming, wasn't down for no reason, huh? My mood is so seasoned. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and I came from the bottom of the pot. When I got saved, I was on the block. I got locked with bags in my sock. I got bagged by undercover cops. Up the street from the parking lot. On the way to the barber shop. I'm just grateful that I made it out. Ain't see myself off the paper route. Still got homies living in the trenches. I free homeless women on the benches. We treat all year like Thanksgiving. On the block, I made a great decision. There's somebody tell me I ain't winning. I got youngers changing how they feeling. Instead of telling them to stop sinning, I just show a better way of living. They still dug the 12. Still bust shells. Still bust sales. Look at them numbers on the scale. Me, I'm dug a hill. Try all the what I feel. I say I turn a wheel when I with my life on the scale.